where I had another earthquake. The building I lived in was built on ball bearings, so when the earth moved, we moved. And I also learned a lesson that you live on the top floor in California.
So something like this, would they have repaired that or torn it down? What do you think?
It depends on the damage. And in San Francisco and a lot of other places in California, your garages are underneath. And when I lived in Los Angeles, the one down there was much more violent. It was like this. I mean, you physically did this up and down and watched the earth go like this instead of like this. I watched furniture move. I was jolted out of bed, and it was terrifying. We were trapped in my building for about 8.5 hours, and because it split and collapsed the stairways. You couldn't use the elevator. There was no electricity. There was no phones, and back then we didn't have cell phones. You just had landlines, and so you couldn't call anybody to let them know you were okay. And it was very terrifying.
You didn't have no suitcase cell phones?
Pardon?
You didn't have a suitcase cell phone?
No. No, I didn't. They were just starting to become popular for those great big cell phones, you know, bigger than this.
Yeah.
But anyway, we were finally able to get out of our building, and they condemned the building I lived in. So it's a horrible experience, and you here in Kentucky, us here in Kentucky, are on a fault. You need to be ready. You need to know what to do. It's been 200 years, but you never know. They come with no warning, none. The only thing I can tell you about both earthquakes, well, one I was asleep, and it bolted me out of bed. It was just before 6 in the morning. But the one in San Francisco, the La Prieta, happened at 5:07, and it was almost like a very still calm came across. There was no wind, there was no anything, because I could see the flags on the stadium, and they were not moving. It was very scary. It's just kind of an eerie, you know, like the calm before the storm, so to speak. So, but anyway, I survived. Had to find a new place to live, but all in all, it was a very terrifying experience I hope you never have to do. I recommend that your family has an earthquake kit, and you get a trash can with a lid. You put in water, you put in non-perishable foods, you put in batteries, flashlights, something that will sustain you should you get trapped, should you have an earthquake and you have no electricity, because your cell phones will not work during an earthquake. Towers are down, so that's one thing you gotta remember. And what you might want to do is all those little numbers that are in your phone, or your parents, or family, you need to write them down and keep a list and put it in your earthquake list.